The house we're at today is called the Parisian Palace. It's a name I branded it about 10 years ago when I bought it. It actually had been built many decades ago by an early real estate developer here in Las Vegas who was known for developing commercial casino hotel projects. And he had taken a lot of those materials and actually constructed this amazing architectural mausoleum virtually. I mean, it's really European. It was based on an old French chateau. The previous owner had adorned it with lots of mythological statues and unique accoutrement that I really didn't dig, that I kind of removed and made it more truly European without so much of that over-the-top element that was here. And I really kind of brought it down to a more sort of palatable tone, and I made it much more European. Now it's got some modern flair to it. It's kind of rock and roll, if you will. There's a nightclub that I built and an indoor Indonesian salt spa. But I think some of the great details are the carvings and the beveled windows everywhere and the leaded glass and all of these incredible details that I just can't find in today's architecture. You know, I added more modern, like my custom motorcycle, my chopper, or you know, my guitar room or my music room or the nightclub, or different parts of the house that are much more modern than he had intended it. Of course, adding the bowling alley certainly gave it a bit of bling and a bit of Vegas as well. The Indonesian salt spa that I just recently completed is so sexy and interesting, and you'll see it during the tour, and it's sort of a Buddha element room, and it leads into the Indonesian rear yard, which is filled with palapas and cabanas and multiple swimming pools and 2 guest houses, and all of that makes for just such an interesting ambient environment, both interior and exterior. Me personally, I like the movie theater. I spend a lot of time in there, and I can relax there. It's very sort of comfy in there, and the multiple levels. It's just really sort of refreshing to get away from all the ambiance to some degree. I really love the formal dining room. I think when I have friends in, certainly for Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's such a warm and inviting space. We're in fact in it right now, and between the fireplace and the elaborate dining set and the magnificent chandelier, I think it makes for a really sort of opulent, warm environment for holidays. And it's where I spend a lot of time. Even at so few days a year I'm in it, it really sort of warrants itself and really sort of, I find it very comforting with as elaborate as it is.
Back in the early 90s, Bill Gores and Millie Gores, who owned the house at that time, they reached out to me, and they said they were looking for somebody to do the murals in the home, and they asked me if I would be kind enough to show up and see what I thought. And we started with a very small little decoration on the wall, and it gradually grew and grew until I covered all of the walls and all of the ceilings in the home, which ultimately took 5 years to complete. It was over 10,000 hours. As far as the old one, the one on the ceiling in the dining room, that was an homage to Francois Bouget, which is like 1700s. And I kind of liked that style back then. And as far as the new one, I think the horse downstairs. That's a pretty dramatic piece, so I enjoy that one.
This is my little guy Monster, who's just a kitten right now. He's an African serval. He's a wildcat. This is actually a kitten that will grow to be like the size of a Labrador. He's become such a part of this house. He's kind of the mascot to the Parisian Palace, really, which is interesting.